Hi, welcome everyone. This is Nancy, and these are my traveler's notebooks. So I decided to share a little bit more in depth about story and design on YouTube rather than just doing the quick flip through on Instagram. And let's get started. I'm going to start with story number 1, and these will be broken up into separate videos because if not, they'd be just like way too long. All right, so this is, I believe, a Cocoa Daisy. Yeah, this is a Cocoa Daisy traveler's notebook. I have gutted it and I don't use the 20 some pages that these come with because they get too thick and they all fall apart. So I fill them with blank paper or with pattern paper that I love and totally customize them. And you'll see my organization in a future video, how I bind them and how I store them. So, but for today we have 01. And so this is starting off 2023. This does not mean that these photos and these stories are all from 2023. I do not make my traveler's notebook in any kind of chronological order. I get bored of that really quick. And I just tell the stories that I want to tell, use the pictures I want to, and sometimes it's driven by a kit that I love or one little folder that I love, and that's generally how I create. I also am on 4 design teams, which is a lot, and so you'll see some of that work here too. So that's driven by those assignments. My assignments are usually really loose. I can kind of make whatever I want as long as I use whatever is new that month. So let's start out with 2023. I have a picture of my feet. I love this 3x4 card. This is from Cocoa Daisy. So in any given moment, we have 2 options: to step forward into growth or step back into safety. And that was definitely my intention for 2023. And I actually still need to add the story here. I forgot, and I just looking at it now and realizing that it's empty. And then just a really simple picture of me with my winter shoes on the front steps. And that's how we started. The next one, this was for Ellie Studio. So this is a stamp. Here is a stamp in a very light gray, so I can make like a pizza background. Then I did another pizza stamp. I used some Crayola markers, cheap, and put it in this metal rim tag. The puffy letters were new for that month. When the moon hits your eye is all me, because that's what I think about when I make my homemade pizza. And that's kind of just a shot of me in our kitchen rolling out the dough. And I love this Mama What's for Dinner pizza because it's easy and it's good. Okay. This one is Studio Calico and has a little shot of what I got for Valentine's Day. This was from 2022, I believe. And so I used this photo, and it's just some regular photo paper. I just cut the paper to make it look like a Polaroid, but it's really not. The 3 die cuts layered with a pencil, a 2 for my husband and I, a little bit of story, our tiny little heads on the 14th, and then a nice little saying down here, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Love that. And I add a lot of little quotes to my pages anytime I can. I collect quotes. Oh, and the reason why I don't mind doing like the vertical or horizontal, you'll see me turn my books all the time. This one was driven by Studio Calico because this is their pattern paper and the numbers were horizontal. So I just did the entire layout horizontal, and I like to mix it up like that sometimes. And then we go right back to vertical. This is also a Studio Calico kit. I love their stripe pages. They have one of these almost every month, and I very rarely use them, but I got an idea that I wanted to document birthday party season around our home and how it's changed through the years. My son, my niece, and my nephew are born within a month and a half, in July and August. There are tons of birthdays in our family in the summer. And that was always kind of stressful because you put on these huge family parties. But now they're older and I get to take it easy and I get to attend the parties, and I like that a lot. I enjoy giving the parties, and that's what the journaling is about, but I'm happy in this season too. So that's why this says taking a deep breath, take it easy, and I went with a lot of the things that were included in the kit. This is the stamp from that kit. to drive this story. So this one I had fun with. I love these colors. These are like boho colors. This is also Studio Calico, the entire thing. Their stamp, their letters. This was one of their kits. And I wanted to play up, all I had were these blobs of color, and I had these alphas. So I just used an initial for each of the places that we want to go to in the next few years, kind of like a travel wish list, I guess. And this is a throwback picture. This is probably like 2018, I think. Yep. Maybe 2018. I need to go back and date the pictures at least, even though the stories are being told from the perspective of 2023, the pictures are from all different time and dates, all different years. So I'll probably go back and add that. And then, so C is for California, A for Aruba, S for St. Lucia, D for the Disney cruise. And then I used one of these little enamel starbursts. I know they look a little like the COVID thing, but I guess we'll go with starbursts to match the colors. And that's it. I love using initials. You'll hear me say that a lot. So here we go. This one is a paper person shop. This one I did totally for myself, and it's about rain and the never-ending rain that we're getting here in the Northeast. It's just constant. This was 17 days of nothing but rain. It was killing me. I did put the date here. So this picture actually is from March of 2023. And I had a few words about it. And I loved the raining cats and dogs. I thought that was so cute. I wanted to use that 3x4 card. So it's a 3x4 card layered with a piece of another 3x4 card, which had the cats. And this stamp is also from Paper Person Shop, as is this little pattern. So everything came from this card and me wanting to document that. A label here just to bring some of that blue color over to this dreary, raining, gray mess. And another little label tucked here. I love labels. This one is winter. This is Carrie Bradford stamps. She makes the best stamps. Really super high quality stamps. What you see on that packaging is exactly what's going to stamp on your paper, whether it's this tiny or this big. And I love that. And that is not true of all stamp companies. So I added stacks of words. And this one came from a Christmas stamp. I added an enamel dot and then hung these puffies. I'm not sure where the puffies are from, to be honest. Something old from my stash. And then I started the whole page basically based on color, right? So I have this bold royal blue and I was looking for something to break it up a little bit. And when I saw this little plaid paper, I loved that it had the navy, red, aqua. And so then I just followed the colors that was in that pattern paper. Did a really cool quote from Candace Bushnell. Thank goodness for the first note. It was a reminder, no matter how old you became and how much you'd seen, things could still be new if you were willing to believe they still mattered. And I love that quote. And Nick is such a little kid still. This is, he's probably about 15 in that picture. All right. This is not a good memory. So this is also from March of this year. I had some pain and just a process that was very unusual, and it's resolving now, thank goodness. But I wanted to document the pain, even though that was not fun. But I knew it took so many months of my life. It lasted through pretty much all of March and all of April, that I knew I wanted to document it somehow. And this dog knew that I was in a ridiculous amount of pain, and she just, I mean, she's usually shadowing me, but she was like, she wanted to sleep 24 hours a day like that. So that's it. And the story also, I was prompted to do the story. This is Paper Person as well. And that month, coincidentally, they did, the entire kit was about like bad things and angry and upset and things that go wrong. And that's true life. 99%, I think, of my traveler's notebooks and my scrapbooks are about happy, shiny moments, but that's not realistic. I struggle like anybody else, and so does my family. And so Sometimes I don't share those, especially if there's struggles with the kids. I don't do it at all, but this was my personal struggles, so I'm sharing this little bit. I won't pull the story out though. And then this really helped me. I had this quote up on my desk when I was going through this, and it said, "No matter what happens, I will create no more pain for myself. I will create no more problems." And that was my life lesson, for sure. Full of joy. This was a story kit from Ali Edwards. I have another video that goes into detail about this, but this was just an everyday happy moment about how Nico makes faces every time we try to pose, and my niece tries to get him to act right, and we can't, because that's who Nico is. And I just love, the pictures were really bad, they're blurry, they were red, and so I just made them really tiny and changed them to black and white and used them with this beautiful, I love this color palette. And this is all Ali Edwards, the background, I love this polka dot, that's Freckles Fawn. And then I did put the date here, December 2022. This one was for Studio Calico. This is their stamps. I love this stamp. I think this was the stamp of the month, and it's by In a Creative Bubble. I love these little houses. And this really reminded me of the gingerbread type houses that we have here in Cape May, New Jersey. It's beautiful, beautiful seashore town with tons of homes that are this beautiful. This one is very, very famous. So it's a picture of my husband and I when we went down to Cape May. We spent a couple weekends there in 2022. I dated that one too. So this is the stamp. This is a stamp, and then I just did the journaling. I do it on clear label sticker paper in a matte finish, and that's how I add all the words. And then the very last one is also another Studio Calico project. This one is about motherhood. This is that's an old picture of Nico and I. He's really little there. I love that. And I love that my books show you him at 15 and I don't know, could he be 7 there? But you know, I definitely have to go back and date these. So I'm glad that I'm talking through this and I'm realizing that I want dates, because even I want to know how old he was there. But basically, I love this stamp. This stamp was from Studio Calico. It was an add-on stamp. I believe it's probably still in the shop. I'll try to link the things that I can find. I will link below. But yeah, so this is kind of a more realistic, the stamp is really cute, but the story is not really cute. The story is about I struggle every day to be a good mom, and I fail, and I get up the next day and I try again, like most of us do. So it's just like an open letter to Nico. And that's it. That was my first book. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me comments down below, questions, anything you want to say. I'd love to hear. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.